Okay, good evening, my friend. Tonight, I just introduced you to the very easy tips for the enamel weathering effect for people who are not familiar with the liquid type enamel paint, which is like this one, or that one, or some other kind of liquid type enamel paint. Yeah, this one is very familiar with that. Some of my friends ask me, how do I manipulate or how do I control the enamel effect by the brush or cotton swab or some other kind of tools to get a nice effect. And they say, using the liquid type of the weathering color might very difficult to manipulate on themselves. So tonight I just introduce you to very easy tips using by the dry type enamel paint, which is not contain the liquid thinner. Using this one, and this is the dry tissues, and basically what am I going to do is a very similar behavior as the dry brush techniques, and just very wiped off a little bit. It's very similar by the dry brush effect, and then try to put some and try to blend it on the surface of the models where you really want to have some dust deposit or whatsoever. I think this is too much. I think you don't have to put so much dust effect on the coloring. Like this, I think. And roughly is fine. It's like, very similar behavior like dry brush, right? Just, drying, put some dry color on the effect. It's fine. If you already feel about some kind of difficulty to put the liquid type paint and then try to move the brush left to the right, right to the left, whatsoever, and controlling is sometimes some people feel very difficult because the dry of the time is very important at the time. And liquid type paint must be needed until it get dry completely, or some wet. You have to wait to control the deposit effect, right? And what is the next is also very simple. So now the foundation of the paint has already done at the time. And the next, you need to have some tissues and some very rough brush, which is like this one. It's very rough. You know, quite rough. Or you can use some kind of this, you know, I think the similar one. I think this one. And then you just put some turpentine oil a little bit and try to wipe with the tissues. I think not too much, it's fine. A little bit wet is enough. And then try to stamp on the surface that you put some enamel color. Maybe hard to see, isn't it? Don't know how. Just, you know, try to melt a little bit with the very sensitive half dry brush with the turpentine oil, and you might get very nice result of, you know, deposit expression. You don't have to take so much time if I compare with the liquid type. Because the surface has already, you know, very dry, and you just try to put some wet brush, and you know it reduce your, you know, weathering time, and the amount of the color itself has already regulated, right, by the dry brush techniques. So you don't have to put so much enamel color on it. So it makes your time to control the enamel color more faster than, you know, liquid type, and more, I think, more easy if you are really feel about you know, very hard to control, you know, by the liquid type. I think you can use the dry type paint using by the dry brush techniques, and then you just try to put a little bit wet of the dry brush then, you know, you make a very nice result. So you don't have to wait, you know, until the it gets dry completely when you put the enamel paint. I think it's very faster than that, faster than using the liquid type enamel paint, I think. Because, you know, something like this, you know, so the color itself, this kind of dry type paint color always not use as with the thinner before you use. You can use as the dry brush, and then aftermath you can use the wet. You can use the thinner. So it is not always the simple way. You know, you can also use the dry when you dry type. Yeah, you can use it. You can choose. And also, this kind of techniques contain the dry brush techniques, right? So, if the model itself has some kind of molded area, it's also, you can use as the normal dry brush effect first, and then you just try to brush the flat surface, and then you just use the enamel thinner, not the molded area, just the flat surface. So both techniques can use the same time. I mean, you can use the dry brush effect, you can use the some kind of staining effect in the same time. So which means you reduce your time. Okay, this time I just do the dry brush first, and then aftermath you just change everything and you just do the enamel staining effect whatsoever. So you don't have to do that. You can use the two-way in the same time. I think this is pretty simple and very amateur techniques, but basically I think if you already have some problem with the Ricket type enamel effect, you can use this, and you can also practice as the dry brush effect instead of that. So you can learn the two type of the different effect in the same time. So I think this is pretty handy. So if you really want it, you just can try this. Okay, without using the Ricket type enamel, just using the dry type color. Okay, see you.